So I was writing the weekly, I was prepping things, and part of the weekly said, oh yeah, they haven't even revealed the class sets yet. Gosh, we're still waiting on that stuff. And here we are. Hey, it's Soul. We're going to be reading. This is a very blind read. I haven't seen a darn thing on this yet, but just about half an hour ago, they revealed all of the Season 1 class sets. I'm very excited to learn more about them, and I hope that you'll join me with them for what may potentially be kind of a long read. I'm going to try to section this off as best as I can. Please forgive me, and let's just start reading, shall we? Great. We're excited to share the bonuses you'll discover on class sets in Dragonflight, or we're going to discover them now. To add to the excitement, these bonuses will be playable in the next beta build. Yes! Okay, let's get to Dragonflight class set armor design. We set a few goals for this round of class sets. First and foremost, these class set bonuses are not as complex as the effects on 9.2 class sets. The new talent trees have resulted in a lot of changes to classes in Dragonflight, and we want you all to be able to play those classes without class sets that significantly change your rotations or resource economies. This is not to say that we won't make more complex or rotationally impactful class sets in the future, but you'll find that these bonuses generally take a light touch on features like resource generation and cooldown manipulation. Holy power. Another goal that came from wanting you all to have a chance to get familiar with Dragonflight's new classes is that we want these class sets to have minimal impact on your talent choices. We want you to be able to play the way that you choose in whatever content that you prefer. As a result, they generally modify core class abilities or talents that are learned near the top of the tree. They may have synergies with talents further down the tree, but they shouldn't make me feel like specific builds or capstone talents are, quote, required, which makes sense, but I'll just move on. Acquiring set armor in Dragonflight. Ooh, here we go. When sets returned as a major endgame feature in 9.2, we debuted the Creation Catalyst as a tool for players to access and complete their sets with the following goals. Players of all types should have access to powerful bonuses and fun appearances, even if raiding is not their preferred method of engagement. New and returning players catching up should not have a monumental task to become ready to fight alongside friends. WoW can confidently carry the system forward as an evergreen feature, yes, for players to learn and understand intuitively. We think that those goals were met, and while there's room for improvement both in understanding the means by which charges accrue, as well tuning prohibitive currency costs for alts, we're happy to say that with the Catalyst, which will be known as the Inspiration Catalyst in Dragonflight, and just the Catalyst moving forward, will return to the Isles as a companion system to class sets for the foreseeable future. We'll have more details to share on everything Catalyst related in a future update, like when it's gonna happen, but for now it's worth mentioning that we're planning on keeping the unlock cadence same to start. That is to say, the 6th week after the mythic raid becomes available in Dragonflight Season 1. So let's pretend that we know what we're talking about. So if we're going with a November 28th release, Season 1 starts on the 13th, 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, the 24th. So January 24th is when the thing opens. The original time, the original unlock time was 10 weeks. A lot of folks have been clamoring for 1 week. This is meeting almost in the middle, but a little bit more towards Blizzard's favor with the 6th week. I don't recall the Raid Finder schedule, but it could be somewhat related to that. And I know that there's been criticism about the Raid Finder schedule being a bit too spread out. But that's what input is for, even though that's been kind of like water on rock. Playing with these bonuses and providing feedback to try these set bonuses in the beta doesn't matter. Let's get to it. So, Death Knight. Okay, so starting with Blood. 2 sets. When a bone shield is consumed, you have a 20% chance to generate 1 rune. Easy. 4 set. After 10 bone shield charges are consumed by the 2 set bone. Actually, I guess that's more generally when they're consumed. Period. You gain 10% damage and haste for 10 seconds. Okay, they weren't kidding about like pretty basic buffs. The Mage one, once we get down to it, I thought the Arcane Mage one was pretty interesting, but Let's keep going. Frost. 2 sets, Obliterate and Frost Scythe critical strike damage is increased. Crit strike damage is increased by 15%, okay? 4 set is that Obliterate and Frost Scythe have a 15% chance to not consume a killing machine, which means more of it, which is very nice. Okay, cool. Straight, just very straightforward DPS increase. Unholy, set bonus. Bursting a Festering Wound grants your ghoul Vile Infusion, increasing their damage and attack speed by 10% for 5 seconds, which is like gonna be all the time, almost, I guess. 4 set, your primary ghoul's attacks have a 15% chance to increase your damage and haste by 10% for 8 seconds. This chance is increased during Vile Infusion, which is they're going to almost constantly have a chance to give you this to give you this proc, which is pretty nice. Cool. Moving on to Demon Hunter. Havoc, 2 set bonus. Chaos Strike and Blade Dance. Chance to critically strike is increased by 5%, and their critical strike damage is increased by a little bit more. Whoop-de-doo. 4 set. Chaos Strike and Blade Dance have a 20% chance to increase the damage you deal by 8% for 6 seconds. Your critical strikes increase this chance. So your Chaos Strike and Blade Dance have a 20% plus chance to increase the damage that you deal for 6 seconds. I don't know much about Demon Hunters. I'm not quite sure what the 6-second gap means, if it's going to be like damaging or not, or how impactful that's going to be, but still sounds alright. I know Vengeance slightly better. Okay, 2 set bonus. Shear or Fracture. Fracture for the win. It does 20% more damage, does more stuff, and it has a 15% chance to generate an additional Soul Fragment, which is, kind of okay. 4 set bonus. Spirit Bomb. I'm a Spirit Bomb person. And Soul Cleave have a 12% chance to deal 50% more damage and cause targets they hit to deal 50% less damage to you for 8 seconds. That's good. That's a really good passive damage mitigation. That feels way better than the blood set. It's like, cool, they get 10% haste. I mean, that is nice. And then I guess they're getting, so I guess these are looking pretty good so far. Moving on to Druid. 2 set bonus for a balance. Star Surge and Star Fall increase the next damage of your next Wrath or Starfire by 50%, stacking up to 3 times. Not super, well, I mean, that's cool. It's not that cool, but 4 set bonus. When you enter Eclipse, your next Star Surge or Starfall costs no astral power, and deal 50% increased damage. Much better. Kind of minor on this one, because it's okay. You throw down. It's very passive, very very passive. Feral, which I know nothing about. 2 sets. Rip and Ferocious Bite increased by 5%. Okay, well that's very easy to understand. 4 set bonus. Finishing moves grant 1% crit for each combo point spent for 5 seconds. I'm sure that can be like up to like almost 10%, given certain circumstances. And I don't know if Omen of Clarity is a thing for Feral, but that kind of comes to mind. Now for Guardian. 2-piece bonus. Gore has a 5% increased chance to trigger. Gore also increases Mangle's damage by 10%. Woo. 4 set. Mangle and Thrash deal 5% increased damage. Mangle heals you for 100% of the damage that it does. That seems kind of whipped to me. It'd be better if it was Maul, which people hate, but I'm still swearing by a Maul build. If you see a person called Solar Beam in your Raid Finder groups, run away quickly. Moving on to Resto, the 2 set is Rejuve, Life Room, Wild Growth, a bunch of spells. Their chance to critically heal is increased by 10%. Modest. 4 sets. Efflorescence crit heals increase the healing of your next wild growth by 10%, stacking up to 5 times. Life Bloom critical heals reduce the cooldown of Nature's Swiftness by 2 seconds. That seems pretty strong. Life Bloom, the other part too. Life Bloom critical heals reduce the cooldown of Nature. Okay, that part that kind of sails over my head, but this seems like a really strong. This seems really strong, at least if everyone is kind of together. So, all right, Evoker, which again don't know too much about. 2 sets. Empower spells increase your chance to critically strike by 5% with all spells, I presume, which is cool. And empower spells increase your chance to critically strike. Wait. It increases empower spells chance to crit, and empower spells increase your chance to. Oh, okay. It's just more crit. That's basically what it is. Okay, 4-set bonus. Empower spells have a 25% chance to grant you 6 seconds of one of their big cooldowns without causing sated. That's not bad. But it's an empower spell, so you only have like, I think these are typically on like a 30-second cooldown or so. So 25% chance seems kind of like a low chance. It'd be cool if it was like a little bit higher. Preservation, 2-set bonus. Empower spells increase Reversion's chance to critically heal by 5% for 6 segundos. Not bad. 4 sets. Reversion healing has a chance to cause your next living flame, which is their standard kind of heal, kind of like a holy light almost, to cast instantly and deal 20% increased damage or healing, and it stacks up to 2 times. Okay, well that's straightforward and easy. Hunters, starting with Beastmasters. 2-set bonus. Kill command damage is increased by 10%, and it has a 10% chance to reset the cooldown on barbed shot. Aren't there talents that like do that anyway? I feel like there's going to be a lot of buttons that that hunters are going to be sitting on. I'm like, oh, I'm trying to press all the buttons. I'm just having such a hard time because they keep lighting up. 4-set bonus. Barbed shot has a 50% chance to make your next Cobra shot or multi-shot consume no focus. Now, I might not be a very good hunter, but I feel like this is going to just cause a lot of like, it feels like a lot of overflow. Like there isn't going to be enough haste in the world for the hunter to actually spend all of their focus and use all their procs. Marksmanship, 2-set bonus. Arcane shot and multi-shot critical hits cause your next aim shot to cast 50% faster and cause the target to bleed for 20% of damage dealt over 6 seconds. Nice. Okay, it affects aim shots. Oh, that is really nice. Really easy for like AoE periods. 4-set bonus. Ranged auto attacks have a 10% chance to give your next arcane shot or multi-shot 100% chance to critically hit. So arcane shot, single target, multi-shot, AoE. I don't know marksman very well. Alright, 2-set bonus. Raptor strike, mongoose strike, carve, and butchery damage increased by 10%. If with the 2-set bonus. Nice. 4-set bonus. Those abilities, they have a 10% chance to make your next any of those abilities also cost no focus. Oh, that's pretty good. That'll save a lot. It'll make room for a lot more sweet abilities. All right, moving on to Mage. Arcane. This is the one that we saw earlier from data mining, so we'll kind of review this again. 2-set bonus. For each Arcane Charge, Arcane Blast, critical strike damage is increased by 5%, and Arcane Explosion critical strike chance is increased by 3%. Easy. 4-set, though, is when Arcane Blast or Arcane Explosion does critically strike at least one target, then the crit strike of your next Arcane Barrage is increased by 10% up to 4 stacks. So it's a nice wah that you can set up. Very exciting. For fire, 2-set bonus, Pyroblast and Flame Strike cast with Hot Streak, they deal more damage. Cool. 4-set bonus, Fire Blast, Phoenix Flames, and Fireball deal more damage, 10% more damage, and their chance to crit is increased by 10. Not exactly much of a synergy there, but just kind of a straightforward more. Okay, so for Frost, Ice Lance and Frozen Orb damage increased by 10%, nice and easy. 4 sets, Consuming Fingers of Frost increases Blizzard damage by 25% and Frostbolt damage by 50% for 6 seconds. So Frost, I'm a little familiar with Frost. It's just with the ice bolts forever. Kind of a dull, a dull looking build because it's just like a lot of spam. But as long as it's effective. All right, moving on to Monks with Brewmaster. 2-set bonus is hitting an enemy with Tiger Palm or spinning Cane Crick grants Brewmaster's Rhythm, increasing damage dealt and reducing damage taken by 1% for 10 seconds, stacking up to 4 times. That's easy mitigation, right on. 4-set bonus for each stack of Brewmaster's Rhythm, which is up to 4. Purifying Brew clears 3% more of your damage delayed with Stagger. Damn! Jelly, so they can mitigate even more of their stuff. Nice. Okay. Mistweaver, 2-set bonus. Healing from your Enveloping Mist, Essence Font, Essence Font, and Vivify is increased by 50% on targets with your Renewing Mist. I don't know how to do jack with Mistweaver. I just hit Essence Font and I just try to win. 4-set bonus is that Essence Font and Vivify healing are increased by 10%, and your Renewing Mist on targets healed by Essence Font are extended by 1 second for each heal. So just more of the same. Cool. Windwalker. Fist of Fury increases the damage dealt by your next 2 Rising Sun kicks or Spinning Crane kicks by 30%. 4-set bonus, Fist of Fury now enhances your next 3 Rising Sun kicks or Spinning Crane kicks, and enhanced kicks increase your versatility during your next Fist of Fury by 5%, stacking up to 3 times. It just sounds like more, right? It just sounds like more. Alright, moving on to the best class, race, and profession in the game. 2-set bonus for Holy is that Holy Shock increases the critical hit chance of your next heal within 10 seconds by 10%. Maybe a Holy Shock, who knows? 4-set bonus, when your direct healing spells critically strike, your next Holy Shock deals 30% increased damage or healing. Easy. Protection. 2-set bonus, Avenger Shield grants you versatility of light, increasing the versatility of you and your closest ally for 4 seconds. Exciting. 4 sets. Doing their regular melee thing increases their parry by a certain amount, and it extends the duration of versatility of light by 1 second. Now, to be fair, 4% versatility is nothing to snooze at. That's pretty decent damage and mitigation that you'll be able to get. So, alright, I'll take that. Retribution, 2-set bonus, Blade of Justice and Judgment grant Crusader Strength, increasing the damage of your next Crusader Strike or Consecration by 100%, stacking up to 2. For the 4 sets, when you consume Crusader's Strength, the damage of your next Blade of Justice is increased by 50% for each stack of Crusader's Strength that is consumed. So when you grant this, it increases the damage of your next Crusader Strike or Consecrate. That's interesting because Paladins they have an ability, or they have a talent that makes it so that their Blade of Justice that can proc a Consecration. Like, does that count for it? I kind of doubt it. It's probably like if you manually lay it down, which would be terrible because I can't see myself laying it down manually anyway. Moving on to Priests. Discipline. 2-set bonus. Casting Power Word Shield increases the effectiveness of your next direct damage or healing spell by 10%. Cool. 4 sets. Penance increases the strength of your next Power Word Shield by 100% of its damage or 30% of its healing. That seems good. That seems like a really strong, super word shield, basically. For Holy. Casting Prayer of Mending, the greatest spell in the game, by the way. Casting Prayer of Mending reduces the cast time of your next heal or Prayer of Healing by 1 second and increases their Holy Word cooldown reduction effect by 2 seconds. So make sure you do the thing that you should be doing. 4 sets. When Holy Word Serenity or Holy Word Sanctify finish their cooldown, you gain 15% critical strike chance for 8 seconds, which would be great if you were to then cast a Prayer of Mending. And actually, no, wait, I keep thinking of Penance. That would have been awesome if you could take advantage of that. But yeah, not bad. Shadow, which I know needs help. Sorry, guys. 2-set bonus. Mind Blast increases the damage of your next Devouring Plague or Mind Sear by 20%, stacking up to 3 times. Is there going to be that sort of opportunity to like kind of bank this set bonus increase with throwing down like 3 Mind Blasts? I guess if there are certain procs that you can have fire off, that would be cool. 4-set bonus. Devouring Plague and Mind Sear increase your haste by 5% for 8 seconds. Interesting to have that as a 4-piece, but still cool. Rogues. 2-set. Envenom also increases your weapon poison's damage by 10%. That's not very much, but well, it's something. 4-set bonus. When your weapon poisons deal direct damage, you have a 50% chance to gain septic wounds, increasing your bleed damage by 2% for 8 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. That's more like it. Damage. Yeah, that seems better. Okay, Outlaw. 2-set bonus. Dispatch increases the damage of your next Sinister Strike or Ambush by 20% per combo point spent. Cool. So just like an easy, more damage. 4-set bonus, half cost uses of pistol shot granted by Sinister Strike increase the damage of your next dispatch by 50%. So as you've noticed, there isn't really much of anything that will like, oh man, once I get this 4-set bonus, it'll totally change my rotation. No, we're not seeing much of any of that. This is like as far as it really goes. Subtlety. Eviscerate and Black Powder increase the damage and crit strike of your next Backstab, Shadow Strike, or Shuriken Storm by 2% per combo point spent. So basically 10%. 4-set bonus. Backstab, Shadow Strike, and Shuriken Storm critical strikes increase the damage of Eviscerate and Rupture by 15%, and the damage of Black Powder by 8% for 6 seconds. That totally sailed over my head. More damage. Cool. Elemental. 2-set bonus. Lightning Bolt, Chain Lightning, and Lava Burst increase the damage of your next Earth Shock or Earthquake by 2 to 3%, stacking 10 times. That seems easy enough. At least for me, I noticed that whenever I would play my Shaman, I wouldn't hit Earth Shock all that often, so I think 10 times sounds reasonable. 4-set bonus. Casting Earth Shock or Earthquake increases your mastery by 10% for 10 seconds. Cool. Nice 1-2 punch, I guess. Enhancement. 2-set bonus. A Storm Strike increases the damage of your next Lava Lash by 10% and causes it to generate 1 additional stack of Maelstrom weapon. So it's like a guaranteed thing to give you an additional stack. So if anything, you'll need to kind of watch and make sure that you're not going over on it, that you're not otherwise wasting it, but otherwise that's cool. 4-set bonus. Consuming Maelstrom weapon stacks reduces the cooldown of Storm Strike, Lava Lash, Crash Lightning, and other stuff by 0.5 seconds per stack, chosen randomly. So if you spend all 5, then it'll reduce a total of 2.5 seconds from any of those abilities if they happen to be on cooldown. Now I wonder if it happens to not be on cooldown, will it apply to that too? And will just nothing happen? Will those essentially be wasted? But while I don't know enhancement very well, I'm pretty sure that most decent enhancement Shaman are going to be, spending everything, and so you're going to see this will make them pretty fast, right? Yeah, this is kind of sort of a rotation changer, but not too much, and it's very unpredictable too. Resto. 2-set bonus. While Healing Stream Totem and Cloudburst Totem is active, your chance to critically strike is increased by 10%. Nice and easy. 4-piece. When Healing Stream Totem and Cloudburst expire or die, you gain 10% haste. So you're always going to have one or the other. Because Healing Stream Totem is dope. Yeah, it's easy. So just straight up, you'll constantly have one buff or another. Alright, Warlocks. 2-set bonus. When Agony grants you a Soul Shard, you have a chance to gain Cruel Inspiration, increasing your haste by 12% for 6 seconds. That's kind of a lot. 4-set bonus. Cruel Inspiration also grants 2 charges of Cruel Epiphany, up to 5 charges. Each charge of Cruel Epiphany increases the damage of your next Malefic Rapture, the big explodey thing for the dots, or Seed of Corruption by 40%. It's not bad. Yeah, that's very thoughtful to single target, cleave, whichever. Demo, 2-set bonus. Demon Bolt and Fellstorm damage increased by 20%. Not bad. 4-set bonus. Demon Bolt has a chance to make your next Handle Gul'dan instant and deal 50% increased damage. I'm not familiar with the demo stuff, but I think there's already some procs that make Handle Gul'dan either an instant thing or, something like that. But that's kind of cool. Destro. 2-set bonus. Consuming Soul Shards has a chance to grant you Chaos Maelstrom, increasing your critical strike chance by 10% for 10 seconds. Easy. During Chaos Maelstrom, this is the 4-piece, your Chaos Bolts, Conflag, and Incinerate critical strikes explode on the target, dealing 2 to 10% of damage dealt to enemies within 8 yards. The damage is reduced beyond 5 target. 2 to 10% from a crit? That's okay. The Chaos Bolt, I guess I get, but it seems kind of whipped, right? Only 10% of the damage dealt, but I guess it's free damage, right? Now Warrior. Arms, 2-piece. Mortal Strike and Cleave damage and Mortal Strike and Cleave damage have a chance to more crit, alright? More crit chance. Something, I'm just not reading this right. 4-set bonus. Mortal Strike, Cleave, and Execute crit strikes increase your damage and crit strike chance by 5% or 6 seconds. So you pretty much always have 15%, almost all the time, 15% increased crit. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Fury executes chance to critically strike is increased by 10%. Nice. 4-piece sudden death chance to reset the cooldown of execute and make it usable on any target is greatly increased. Another possible rotation changer because you might be spamming that thing like a crazy person. And then protection. 2-piece bonus, Revenge grants you Vanguard's Determination, increasing your damage done and reducing damage you take by 4% for 5 seconds. And then finally, the 4-set bonus, during Vanguard's Determination, gain Ignore Pain equal to 10% of damage that you deal. See, I was talking about this earlier with my chat. I'm like, hey guys, I think Ignore Pain is great, and forget Shield Block. That's dumb, and you know, people rightfully eviscerated me for it, and you guys might too. But this clearly is trying to make Ignore Pain into a thing. Let me reread this real quick. Revenge, pressing the button, doing the cleavy thing, gives you this buff. It reduces your damage and increases your damage done, and you get an Ignore Pain out of it. So if you happen to pick up that one talent, I forgot what it's called. If you pick up that one talent that says, hey, when your Ignore Pain is up, the damage that you deal will increase it, that actually is going to kind of synergize with that, even just like a tiny bit. It's probably not much, but it's something to consider, or at least something that I found memorable enough to mention. And those are the talents, folks. I think it's just as they say. They wanted to start with like really basic stuff because there's so much stuff going on with talents that it would just be a terrible idea if they were to try to set up like set bonuses that made us lean towards talenting a certain way. The Warrior example, that's nothing. That's not like a huge thing. And hopefully it's not like a big diversion for the sake of just trying to experiment and see what that happens to do. But none of the set bonuses seem to be, you know, class defining or class redefining. They didn't really do too much. I mean, I have the most experience as a protection paladin, but this will not change anything that I do. I get more parry. I get a little bit more verse, and a buddy of mine, probably my co-tank, is also going to get that bonus. But did I do anything extra? No, not at all. I didn't do anything here, and I think that's the point. So it's just like straight DPS increases, and so I'm cool with this for now at least. I'll be eager to see how things go later on, and of course, I'm going to be very eager to see like what else might we learn about the creation catalyst, or I'm sorry, the inspiration catalyst a little bit later on. We know that it's going to come out 6 weeks after the season begins, but is there going to be like something else? Are we going to be using like Dragon Isle supplies? Are we going to be using oh gosh, what is it called? Primal Chaos? Like, is there going to be like some other currency that we need in order to convert stuff into tier? And also, what kind of items can we turn into tier? Unlike patch 9.2 and 9.3, this is the new expansion. We're coming into this, and so there are a lot of items that are being introduced from the start that may or may not be considered season things. But one thing that I'm very curious about, crafted gear. The way that it's set up, it's being set up as if it is also season gear. So will that count? Those are questions that I think that are going to be important to have answered. That might have been answered as I was talking about this. So let's see what we find out in the near future. In the meantime, I want to thank you guys for coming to watch. I appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe for more content, and I'll see you guys for more Dragonflight stuff. Until next time, folks, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay breezy.